Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, there's an old Swahili saying that goes something like, ukiona mwenzako yonyolewa, nawe kichwa chako kipake maji. Unaweza kipaka hata sabuni. What am I trying to say, ladies and gentlemen? When Moses Wetangula, Amason Jeffa Kingi celebrated the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, they never knew that the axe would fall on them. Now, going by the media perception or the views going on and what is already being circulated is that Wetangula might be the next. And there is also word that Chunga, who is likely the person who orchestrated everything, will also be the next. And why is it so? It's because of a newspaper headline that was published that ODM is now starting to demand for more slots, because ODM believes that they helped William Ruto at the time when William Ruto was almost falling. They believe that because of them, Rigathi Gachagua was successfully impeached. Now, this is what is trending, ladies and gentlemen. So I want us to go extensively into this matter and the prospects of Wetangula surviving, because I remember in 2017 what happened. So I want us to explore all these possibilities, these prospects of the survival of Wetangula, Kingi, Kimani, Chunga, and the like. But before we get there, please like this video. It's so important. If you like this video, I'm so grateful for everyone who has been liking our videos. I don't take that for granted. Subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed before, and to existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. When the motion was tabled in Parliament, Wetangula was in a celebratory mood. When Rigathi Gachagua was invited to the Parliament, I saw the mood on Moses Wetangula's face and the various reactions, and how Kimani Chunga reacted. And then they voted to support the motion. And then what happened next was the phase of the Senate impeachment session. Now, back to the National Assembly. Moses Wetangula joined the Kenya Kwanza because he was supposed to neutralize Raila Amolo Odinga in Western, especially the Bungoma side, because Bungoma has always been Raila Amolo Odinga's. They have always voted for Raila Amolo Odinga. Even in this previous election, most of them voted for Raila Amolo Odinga, but William Samoei Ruto took also more votes from that region. Now, the main responsibility of Wetangula was to fight Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, that could have worked according to his expectation, or maybe the expectation was high, but the result was a bit low. But at least it worked for him. Now, when Wetangula was confronted with this impeachment motion against Rigathi, he quickly, endorsed the idea. Because if you look at the politics in Kenya Kwanza, looks like all these leaders were afraid of Rigathi Gachagua, because Rigathi kept reminding them that Mount Kenya provided more votes than them. They were given a target. They did not deliver.
Hii mambo inabadilika haraka sana. Juzi amekuwa akisema Gachagua lazima ende. Huko bunge hata hakuna mtu mwingine alikuwa anaongea, ilikuwa tu speaker. Yes, Mr. Speaker sir. Moses Wetangula MP na support Gachagua akijaribu kuongea, anaambiwa wewe Mr. Speaker sir. Sasa imefika ni wakati wa kumeza Wetangula. Kazi yako ya kutoa rigiji umemaliza. Sasa ni wakati wako wa kufunganya virako. Papo wa Roma, hiyo kiti yako hata uweze enda kotini. The best you can do ni kuanza kufunga virako mapema. Resign because Otiende Omolo is coming for that seat. Wewe Kimani Kimanogo. Kimani Kimanogo, ndio mkomo unatumia kutoa rigiji. Sasa ODM imesema inataka kiti ya National Assembly Speaker na kiti ya Majority Leader. Oi Kimani. Oi Kimani Chunga.
Wetangula and Mudavadi were given a target which they didn't deliver. If you go to Vihiga County, for instance, now, you'll find out that the governor comes from ODM. If you look at the member of parliament from where Mudavadi comes from, also is ODM. Senator is not from NC. So Mudavadi lost most of the votes there because the people found out that he was not, he didn't have a clear stand, you know. Now back to Wetangula, because there's an ongoing discussion here that Wetangula will be ousted and there is a possible replacement of ODM. That ODM wants more slots, especially in the National Assembly. So the big concern here is RUTO going to agree, because RUTO might flash back to the days of Mwai Kibaki and ODM, when Marende was the senator, or was the speaker, sorry, when Marende was the speaker. And what happened? The government could not bombard Kenyans with policies which were not favorable to Kenyans. So Marende kept on defending most Kenyans, or rather all Kenyans. That's why you find that one of the most respected speakers of the National Assembly is Kenneth Marende. I believe you all know that story, ladies and gentlemen.
After the April 30th Constitution stipulated deadline.
The delay in submission of the estimates has an adverse effect on, and indeed is a contravention of, this important constitutional objective.
But talking about Wetangula and the most and the likelihood of a replacement by Otiende Amolo, because there is already talk that Otiende Amolo might oust Wetangula. Now, how is this possible? Let's say, for example, that move is to be, that plot is to be hatched, and Wetangula is to be kicked out. Is there a possibility that that result might work to the advantage of the ousters? If you ask me, I'll tell you yes. Right now, anything that William Ruto wants in Parliament to happen, it will happen, because these people are just rubber stamp MPs. That is why people call them MPs. They're just rubber stamp. Whatever they are told is what they will do. If you look at the number of voters, people who voted against Rigathi Gachagua in the Parliament, the National Assembly, that is enough indication that that house is one-sided. If they opt to kick out Wetangula, just like what happened in 2017, because in 2017, if you remember the history well, then you realize that soon after Raila and Uhuru had some political truce, Wetangula had to be kicked out as the, I think, minority leader in the Senate. He had to be kicked out, and it worked. He was kicked out and replaced by James Orengo. The history, I think you still remember that history. Now, what am I trying to say, ladies and gentlemen? Chunga can also face the music here. This can work, because if you look at what happened, if the people in Mount Kenya could vote out one of their own, Rigathi Gachagua, who stood tough against Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's plans, what can stop them from even removing Chunga, so that Chunga is also humbled? So that's why I agree with someone who has been saying that Chunga is the next target. Kimani Chunga is the next target. And I believe even Amason Jefferson Kingi should watch out. So maybe because they know that they're the next targets, they have been told, they were forced to toe the line, to abide by the orders from above. That is why you find that during the Senate proceedings, when the communication came out that Rigathi Gachagua was taken ill at the current hospital, and there was a request by Paul Muite that the matter be rested a bit for some until he finds out the true condition of Rigathi Gachagua, and then he asked that matter to resume at 5, and the whole house agreed that at 5 it can resume. What happens next is that Rigathi Gachagua didn't show up, and that forced Amason Jefferson Kingi to excuse himself for some time, and I think he made some calls. So the big question is, who was he talking to at at his Senate office? Who was he talking to? Of course, we can't expect Amason Kingi to be talking to Rigathi Gachagua, or maybe talking to CS Kindiki, or the doctors there. Most likely, he could have been talking to William RUTO, and he could have received instruction from order from above. And then those are the ones which he executed. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you in agreement that this ongoing discussion about removal of Kimani Chungwa, removal of Wetangula, and probably Amason Jeffer Kingi is something that will work? Of course, it might work. How many senators does Amason Jeffer Kingi has in the Senate? Okay, let me also take this, rephrase it this way. How many MPs does Wetangula have in Parliament? How many? And should they be impeached, or rather, should they be voted out? Because that is what is going to happen. If they are voted out, will they go to the courts to maybe seek for a reinstatement? So, wembe ni ule ule. Waswahili walisema, wembe ni ule ule. Whatever has befell Rigathi will also befall the two leaders, Chungwa and Wetangula. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to raise my case here. What do you think about this latest revelation, latest development about what is likely to happen to the 2 or 3 leaders? Just go below in your comment section and you can tell us what you think about that. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe. Like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.